Sharon from BeaDivine Vintage. It's actually Friday evening, so I'm working under artificial light tonight. Excuse me 1 minute. I'm doing some work in this Grunge Faery book that I've taken on the journey with me of creating it, and it's coming along so nicely. So I'm going to be working on this page today. So I want to show you how I got to this point. Then we're going to come back and work on this. So literally here is the other book, the one that similar sort of book that I'm working on both together. There's the fairy in the heart, and there's the heart and the tag. There is the sort of, what did I call it? Spirit of Fae. I actually sprayed it with some gold, bronze spray. I put some holes in it, threaded some of this through. Calico cotton. So yeah, I like the spray on it, and I flecked it as well with some gold paint. The spray, let me get the spray. The spray is, or was, the Tattered Angel Glimmer Mist Weathered Wood. And I just sprayed over the page. I love the flowers, the rusted safety pins. I think it looks really good. So let's get on with today's project. So I've started it on here, and as you can see, this is one of the pages that are glued together, and we've got this would have been inside the spine of the book. So I started to glue some things on already because I wanted it to dry off. I didn't want to be spending all my time drying. So I got my glue, and this is literally PVA with some a little bit of like beigey coloured paint in it to make it look like creamy coffee. Looks like Bailey's coffee, that. And I actually put in some my dirty water from my brushes. So that's all in there, and that made up my glue. So I did love this page because it had the writing on there from the little girl who actually used to own this book. So on there I've glued already. I opened my scrap box, my scrap bag, pulled out what was there and just went for it. So I literally just got the glue, put on, oh, that's been in the black paint, put on the glue. Oh, hang on, let's change that. We don't want that, do we? There's another clean brush. Here we go. So I put on the glue like that, but not black glue, and I just stuck on my scraps. Just went over the top of them. As you can see, there's even a piece of fabric scrap there, because I thought the more textures the better. Let's have a look. There is, oh, just a little piece of lace in my hand, but it's gone. Like so, like that's some handmade paper. We can put that on as well. I love this book. I love the fact that the little girl had written so many things in it. It was obviously her sort of pride and joy. So yeah, this is just scraps, and it's just going in. Let's tear it off there. We can put it the other way up. There's even a leaf on there as well, because fairies do like leaves, don't they? Because they love nature. They're our guardians and protectors of our nature. So just glue these bits on, any scraps, anything. And the reason I'm using different ones is to get that texture. So that is literally what I did, and then I let that dry. There's some little bit of avocado card or dyed paper, that could go there. Got my layers. It says leader. Mauve. Ezrian. She's like made up a name there of everybody's name. She must have made up a you know, a club. So that's the gluing done. I glued that on earlier. Like I say, it's because of the drying. So I am going to dry, and I'm really sorry for this. I've done my best not to, but I am. And I thought it was all organised, but I've not plugged my blower in. Let's just dry this off. And then I got some pink paint. This is just acrylic Hobbycraft paint. The colour is pale pink. Put it in my little tub here. And then I literally, over what I had, the paper I was stuck on, I just painted it pink. The paper and fabric, I just painted it pink. There's the leaf. I do like this, the writing from the children, so I have left that in. This little girl who owned this book had such an amazing imagination. If you go to the first video in this series, you'll see this book and the things. She's interacted with it on such a wonderful level. It was really quite sad to tear it up, but it saved it from the dustbin, so somebody's dustbin, not my dustbin. So I put my pink on like that. And then I'm just going to I let it dry, but I'm just going to dry it. Those scraps away. This is one of my scrap bags. This is like my bits of absolute rubbish that really should be in the bin, but they've not quite made it to the bin bag. I think we all have them, don't we? I have like different levels of scraps. Right. So next I'm going to paint on the black, which is here. So I've got my brush. And again, this is just black acrylic that I got from Hobbycraft. So I'm literally just going to paint that over the top of the pink. I love the different textures, you know, because I've not used the same type of paper. It's like you could use a newspaper background if you wanted to, but then you get, it's the same texture. But I just like all these different textures. Even over the lace. Quite like that lace as it is there now. This is going to be the most difficult bit now, because really that should be left to dry overnight. I'll show you why in a second. Been out and about with my mum today, so I've kept my hands lovely and clean all day. We've been doing a bit of shopping, she made me lunch, which was nice. She gave me some hot buttered toast with proper bread that she cut and put loads of butter on it, just like I used to have when I was a little girl. It was lovely. Right, sandpaper, here we go. So I'm just going over that and I'm sanding off just as much or as little as I want to. If you don't want to use sandpaper, you can use an emery board. That looks just as well. Did I tell you we've got a puppy coming to our house tomorrow? Moving in. My son, he's had a pretty horrific year and has pulled himself round. If it comes off like that, to me, that doesn't matter. Because remember, this is grunge. Yeah, he's had such a horrendous year. He's been through so much. And the reward was at the end of a period of time. He could choose, and he's chosen a puppy. So that's what's happening tomorrow. So she's called Norma. It's a little English show cocker. She'll be joining us. Right, so that's where I'm up to in the other book. That's exactly where I'm up to. So let's bring the other book back. Okay, this one I've got a piece of corrugated card and I really like it. And I like the picture. It's a little girl here and she's with a pixie. So what I decided on here is I do like embossing and I do like, is it Seth Apter? I think that's right. And he does so much embossing and he does like layer upon layer. So I thought let's just do some embossing. So I've got out my what's it called, this stencil, my Versamark, and my stencil is let's get a piece of paper. Got that out already. My stencil is the flowers that I've used sort of throughout this book. I'm not sure where I got it from. Just put a few more flowers over here. I'm like thinking, has it gone through? Has it gone through? Yes, some of it has. Right, so I've picked 3 colours. So the first one I'm going to use, I love this, Stuart Gill's embossing powder. This is Marcasite. I don't know where I got this from at all, but I absolutely love it. Well, yes, I do know where I got it from. I got it from eBay. Somebody was selling it, and I got another one, like a copper that was gone green. I can't remember the name. Like a Verdi. Right, so I've got some on there. Let's put that Marcasite back. Verdi, what's it? And I cannot keep looking and searching and I cannot get this. I cannot get this Stuart Gill. It's so good. These colours are amazing. Right, let's let the magic begin. I love the Marcasite. Can you see it? Sparkling. I absolutely love it. I should perhaps have gone from light to dark, I think. Right, next one. Let's put some roses on. Let's put some here. Oh. See what happens. This is the back page here of the book, and we'll be putting something on here. I've like overlapped, as you can see, some of this paper to strengthen that join, and I will be looking at what I'm going to put on there. But on here I'm going to put this wow. I love the wow as well. This is the metallic gold rich. I love this. I like wow myself when I see it. When I see the colour it goes. I'm never afraid of how much I put on. I need to give it a little blow. Got a bit blobby there, but I've got a fantastic rose up there. Let's just put that back in the pot. Whoops. Whoopsie days. Whoopsie daisies. Well, my cousin sent me a picture the other night. It was like about 11 o'clock at night. I'll tell you in a sec. Let's do this. And you see the amazing colour that is turning. I love it. There we go. Just sit and watch that. I mean, that looks like just like liquid gold, doesn't it? How amazing is that colour? So anyway, it's somewhere after, so not after midnight, but somewhere approaching midnight. And my cousin just decides he's sending me a family picture. And it's of a very, very beautiful lady in a crinoline. With a very strict and stern looking husband at the side of her, and it's an absolutely gorgeous picture. Now, I have seen this picture before, and you know when you think I've seen that. So he said to me, who is it? So of course I can't, I'll wash that after that sticky thing. I'm going to put on this is Heat Up Embossing Powder Silver. So he says, who is this? Now I'm 60 now and he's 59, but he's the most glorious. No, he's not 59, he's 50. He is one of the most glorious people I know. He is so, I've never known anybody as funny, and he is so artistically clever. He got a scholarship to Oxford University playing the organ, and he played in Westminster Abbey, and he's as wacky as a gumball. He really is. He is so funny. Anyway, he sent me this message. Who are these? Have you any idea who they are? So I just said, no. I've seen the picture before, but no. I was falling asleep. I don't even know why I picked up my phone, but I did because it was from him. And let me just dry this off. Can you see here, I've layered. I've got the tanzanite, I've got the gold, I've got the silver all on top of each other. It looks like molten metal all poured in together. It's beautiful. See it there, how lovely that looks. Oh, I've just fell in love with that page. What do you think? I think it looks absolutely stunning. I think it looks alright as it is. But. Let's move this now. So yeah, so he sends me this picture past 11 or something at night. I'm in bed, going to sleep. And then my phone rings. So I thought I shouldn't have even answered him. I've got this piece of mica. I love this stuff. I got one of these from Amazon. So it's Mica Tiles by USA Quest. Cost about £15 for this, but it's absolutely just fantastic. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that you can like peel a layer off but then just stick it back on, and it just doesn't stick back on. Maybe because my fingers are greasy, but normally it just like sticks back on. Anyway, so I took out this piece of mica, and lo and behold, it just absolutely fit over that little girl and the gnome. So I thought that was meant to be. So I've sort of creased it so it looks like fractured glass. It will actually, some of it is peeled. So can you see it peels off? But then I can just stick that back on. Amazes me. So I thought I'd put that there, and with my new collection of hinges and things, I checked out my hinges that I got the other day in my super haul, and I'm going to go for this one. So I thought I'd just put a little hinge on there, so that then that can be opened like that. What do you think? I love that. So I've got my do not laugh please. My fabric tack has turned blue because I needed some. My mum couldn't squeeze it out because it was near the bottom. So I thought, oh, I'll just put a bit of acetone in. And it was blue nail polish remover. So it's turned blue. I'm actually going to put this on. And then I'll put some, what are they called? I've got them little tiny Tim Holtz hardware. Is it called hardware? I think that's the name. I don't know why I've got so many. I went through a phase of just being a little bit Tim Holtz hardware mad. So I'm going to put that there. Oh, I'm really sad because I've got a bit on the mica. Let's see if I can get it off with a cocktail stick. So I'm just going to put that there and let that dry there. That was my plan. Let's just see if we can get it off. Yeah, so he rings me up. My cousin, back to my cousin story. It's like 11:30 at night and he's ringing me up. So I didn't answer because I knew then that'd be it. It'd be like 2 hours on the phone because he's such gossip. He needs to know like everything that's going on in the world. I'm just going to clip that page down. I perhaps should have done this bit last, but I was just so excited to show you. I'm clipping it down so that it doesn't slide away. There we go. Right. Oh, I've got some more on there. So yeah, so I ignored him. Anyway, next thing, why are you ignoring me? I said, because it's 11:30 now and I am asleep. Anyway, he then, we think it was, well, he thought it was and I think it is, my grandma's family. Now, my grandma's surname is Ball. And Ball, when I've looked it up, is actually, I'm sorry about the glare on there, just noticed that. Ball is actually de Ball, D-E, then B-A-U-L-L-E. Just got a little bit of rub and buff. I was just gonna, thought I'd rub it across the corrugation. Just gonna put a little bit on my finger. Rub it in. Goes a long way, this. I just thought I'd do that there. Just got a little bit. I'm just gonna do some bits and bobs around. Yeah, so my family, my grandma's family was the de Ball. And when I say that they were the de Balls, that was like in 1066 when William the Conqueror came over. So it changed from de Bull to Ball at some point. On there it says she must have gone with the fairies. So I thought that is lovely because we've got a little girl in there with a little elf. So I got these from the book that, these books, so I printed them off. There sat on a golden throne was Joan with her curly brown hair, where in fairyland said the gnomes. So I printed some of the sentences off, and this is one, she must have gone with the fairies. So I will just push that book up there. I'm going to do this. So yeah, so they were called Ball. So my grandma was called Martha Ball before she got married, and my grandfather was John Thomas Ball. He was a sergeant major in the army in the First World War. He was a sort of apparently he always, even when he was left the army and was a postman, he always had like a stick thing under his arm. What they call, you know, that the soldiers, don't know, like a baton thing under his arm. So whenever he said his name, she always went, John Thomas Ball. And she like always stood to attention when she said his name. That's pretty there. I'm just going to put some of my blue fabric tack on. So we think it, and I am pretty sure it's John Thomas Ball's ancestors. And I'll have to print the picture off to show you. Well, I'm going to print the picture off because I'm going to use them in my journals because they're absolutely amazing. So we think it's John Thomas Ball relatives. So I'm going to put that on there. She must have gone with the fairies. I don't want to cover that rose up. So I think it's his ancestor. So he texted me then and he said, I think they are Balls. Well, then it just started getting a bit rude. Not from me, from him. He just thought it was ever so funny. Which in the daytime it would have been, but we're talking now, my phone going boop, 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 every 2 minutes. And I don't like to turn it off, just in case my mum takes her in the night. Because my mum lives nearby and she's on a care line. So if she presses that button for help, then the care line will contact me or my brothers. So I don't like to turn it off. So it was beeping away all night. So I've got one of these Tim Holtz frames, and I thought I could put it just something like that. She must have gone with the fairies. I thought that would look nice on there. Just thinking, do I leave it or do I emboss it? Whoa, what a decision to have to make. I'm going to leave it. So, yes. So my phone's beeping away. He's sending me all these. He's probably had a few glasses of red wine. He is the nicest. I hope he's not listening because his head will get bigger than it already is. funniest, caring, most loving man that I know. He's lived in a monastery. He can speak nearly every whatever language, and he can just seems to do it. He was like scholarships to music school in Manchester. He went to, like I say, Oxford on the organ scholarship, and he was playing the harpsichord at 4 and all these. He's just one of these talented people. I love that. What do you think? Do you like it? So I've got these. What's that got? That one already looks like it's got some sort of grommet in it or something. Let's have a look in here, because I now need these tinies. So like these tiny paper clips and tiny brads and tiny little bulldog clips and just about tiny everything. So now I need 4 matching tiny things like these for in those. He's just an absolute genius, and he's always somewhere. So he's worked at private schools, been director of music here, there and everywhere. Somewhere down in Oxford was his last school. He lives just near Oxford, and he's always somewhere. Guess where I am now? He's such an interesting man. So he but not at that time of night, Andrew, if you're listening. Please. Picking these out now to try and get matching ones. If they don't match, then they don't match. I remember many a time when I was a kid and the things my dad used to make, and they didn't always match. Right, we've got 3 of them now. Just want 4. That's that shape. So yeah, when I was little, my dad was building his business. I've got 3 of those now. We'll have everything except a set of 4. I'm just looking for the tinier ones. It's like exciting to think, oh, what are they going to be? So yeah, so I have seen this picture before. I know I have. And I am so upset that I have not written who it is. Well, I ain't got a copy of the picture anyway, but I have seen it. And I don't know who had it. I'm sure it was Andrew's mum, my Auntie Anne. Now, my Auntie Anne is still alive. But maybe. Andrew says she doesn't know who it is. But I think I'll have to use those for. I've got another little tiny one of those. So quite cute, those, with like 4 screwy bits. So I've got a box. My mum gave me a box when Dad died. She said, oh, here. I found it, 4 of them. So she goes, here. This is your dad's. I don't know why she did it like this. She was just so cross at him passing and leaving her behind. You know, when you go through the anger of bereavement. She loves him and misses him so much. But anyway, this day she went, here. You can have these. This was a tone. You can have these. It's your dad's family things. So I'm pretty sure that picture is in there. Pretty sure. So I'll have to have a look. But I think it's up in the loft. Which means getting the loft ladders down and things. I'll have to have a look. Because my dad labelled everything. So I am now going to put these 4 little screws in here. I'm going to attempt to put a little bit of glue in each one. Anyway, my grandma always used, well, if you mentioned a dad, she always said, Sergeant Major, or Sergeant, whatever, Sergeant Major John Thomas Ball, and she always stood to attention. Don't know why. He must have had them standing to attention, or somebody standing to attention. But she always stood to attention. So I did the family tree. Me and Andrew have been doing the family tree. And guess what? The Duballs were very wealthy people because they were very close allies of William the Conqueror. So, actually, where we live, there's a town called Churchtown because of the number of churches in it that used to be called Meols, M-E-O-L-S, and that was the Duball seat. There is a manor house which you can only go in about twice a year. So I'm like, oh God, that is my family seat. But sadly, we were the peasant side of the family. We must have been, you know, married out when they were married, youngest sons and all that sort of thing. Oh no, I've dropped one of them. I'll get it back when I sweep up. So yeah. So anyway, one of these Duballs, get this now, look at that, isn't that lovely? Do you like it? One of the Duballs actually married into the royal Scottish family, and you know there is the Mary Queen of Scots. Well, she was called Mary of Scots, but she wasn't the Mary Queen of Scots, but she was Mary of Scots. She was married into the royal family. So if my grandma knew that, she would be amazed. Now that will open. I'm being ever so careful because I've only just glued it like that. And I think that is enough on there. I'm not going to close it. I think that the embossing, a little bit of gilding on there, the texture, like the liquid molten gold and silver over here, the pinks, the got a little bit of tanzanite there, the pinks and the blacks. There we go, the pinks and the blacks look absolutely beautiful. So, just so that you know now when you watch this video, you're actually speaking to someone whose relative was part of the Royal Scottish family. So, but like I say, we are just the peasants. Now I am going to hang more from here. I've got this silver, it would have had a watch in it, I think. So I am going to look at fixing a chain on, and I'm going to hang this, but I'm going to put like a miniature fairy scene in there. Oh yes, it's all happening. I've got this as well. This is silver, and this is a case off a, it's really difficult to open. This is a case off a pocket watch. It is silver. It has got a cartouche on the back there. Sound like an antique dealer. Oh, there we go. It is silver. I've tried to sell it, but nobody wants to buy it. So I'm going to put a fairy scene in there, and I thought that'd be really nice because you can actually see it through the glass. But for this, I'm going to hang that. Oh, I also have got this. Look at that. It's on a hair clip. So I am actually going to put this now here. Watch this. Look how pretty does this look. How pretty does that look on there? And then on this side, I'm trying to turn over. On that side, I can put something in it. So I thought that look, I could put something in there, but I wait for it all to dry properly. What do you think? Do you like? Yeah, well, it's gorgeous, isn't he? I think it was my nail technician, beautiful Catherine, that gave me that. So she said to me, "You'll have use for this." I said, "Of course I will." So this is me, Sharon. You've been watching me on my BeaDivine Vintage channel. BeaDivine. I could be a cheerleader doing that, you know. BeaDivine Vintage Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, and anywhere else. See you later. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you so much for your amazing comments and likes. Thank you. Bye-bye.